Hey, yes,
Whoa.
back again. Another Thursday, another Carvers and Creators. Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 34 of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with pumpkin carvers, sculptors, and multi-talented artists. We ask that you please give us a like and a follow on the platform you're watching us on. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and if you have any questions for the carvers and our special guests. Let's meet the carvers. Let's do this. Let's add that.
Come on, people.
Yeah.
There it is.
First, he's an artist and sculptor from Boston, Massachusetts. He's a 2019 champion of Food Network's Outrageous Pumpkins. Paul Dever, welcome.
Hola.
Hola. ¿Qué tal?
Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, right?
Yeah.
It is Thursday.
All right, just making sure. Sorry.
Next, he's a multimedia sculpture artist from Tucson, Arizona, and a finalist on Halloween Wars 2019 on the Food Network, Matt Harper.
God bless all. Good to see you, people.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Our guest tonight is a sculptor and monster maker from Fear of the Dark Studios, specializing in handmade resin display busts and props from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Please welcome Jay Ryan.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome.
Yes.
All right, eh? How's it going, eh?
So good.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud.
Pitter patter.
My name is Michael Mondragon. I'll be running the show, moderating comments, and chiming in from time to time. Oh boy.
Let's do it. Nice headshot, man.
Yes, thank you
Jeez,
very
huh?
much. We all want to change our headshots, by the way. That will happen this year, yeah?
I want to change mine to yours.
Okay,
Yeah, me
there you go.
I just want a headshot.
We'll switch them out. Perfect. So let's check out our carves from last week. The carving subject was stoned nightmare fuel. So Matt killed it.
Yeah, this is a butternut squash that it honestly, when I started, I think Paul, when you get that kind of prompt, I'm like, where in the hell do you go with something like that? And so to me, it was just like I just started carving, and there's some eyes and a nose, and then as I kept going, I was like, oh, there's a skull eating its head, and there's snakes, and he's got a joint, and he's got extra eyes. So it was kind of all over the place, but it turned out all right.
That's beautiful.
I feel like you got stoned before you did it. I think you misunderstood the challenge,
the prompt.
but it paid off immensely. This is one of my top 3 for you.
What?
It's dynamite, dude.
Yeah,
it's
and that's
so
all-
cool. I mean, this shit, like, it took me a while to it took me a while to figure out how much stuff was going on. The snakes, like, there's multiple snakes. I mean, you got so much going on, you'd have to turn it to see how much is going on. And the way you blended that top skull, it's like the top teeth become the eyelids of the bottom eyes, which are multiple. I mean, it's nuts. How much acid did you take to get through that?
This is insane for shit.
Did you do ayahuasca? Oh, you're out in Arizona. You do peyote. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was peyote. It was a little bit of whatever was in the backyard. I just ate a bunch of that, and
That's so cool. So
Thank you.
Yeah, it's top 3, dude. Definitely. It's awesome.
dude, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm blushing. God.
Killer. Super killer.
That's because it's 115 degrees in Arizona.
That's right.
That's true.
Baking.
That's true.
Oh,
So here's Paul's. Paul, this is creative. Like, this is
Creative, yeah.
I mean, like you went out and what you called it something really cool. The Benoit Stoner S&M Demon. I love it.
Well, he's got Benoit balls for horns. His name was going to it was Benoit, but the other option was I don't even want to say
Some kind of beads, let's say.
it was something that rhymed with butt plug.
Dude, the sense of tension that you get is beautiful on these sculptures, man. It's actually gorgeous.
Thank you.
Honestly, Paul, that's where I went to have that ball in his mouth and the pullback and the way you did the skin that's remarkable. And then I think I also love what you did with the top. Taking off the stem and making that into like a whole nother like dimension of. Hey, I'm a big fan of it. I love this one.
Like a Twilight Zone vibe on the forehead, like something like a prosthetic from the original series kind of thing happening.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I didn't even pay attention to that part of it. I was just kind of carving along. And at one point, I'm like, it looks like a six-pack on the top of his head. Like he's got abdominal muscles running down the top. But it was like, I was so focused and laughing my ass off the whole time, might I say, when I realized I was going to go the S&M route, because I'm like, where do I put the batteries in this thing?
You know it's a nightmare for you, at least.
Yeah, Drew asked if there were
My
any
nightmare,
reference
yeah.
photos that you referenced.
What is it? Reference photos? Yeah. I got them from Matt shortly before I finished.
Just prior to beginning.
Awesome. Oh, amazing.
Well, yeah. By the way, I'm definitely on a no-fly list after the Google.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you're out.
As we always say, this kept us out of the good schools.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, keeping my kids out of the good schools when they search this.
Well, I work in vectors and pixels, so here is my offering. I mean, I couldn't pass up an opportunity to use the stone.
Nice.
Nightmare.
Stone nightmare fuel. If this doesn't really quite have the impact. If you saw it like super huge, you can see the detail in it and everything. I definitely had to give homage to two of my comedy heroes, Cheech and Chong, and just putting it out there. But I saw these pictures, and I definitely had to kind of replicate it because I think they're sitting in court in this. And so I had to use that. It was so good. So
I love it.
Dave's not here, man.
I love it, Mickey. That was really great, and I love the
Awesome.
the pattern on their faces that extend. That's beautiful.
I want a t-shirt, man.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
a t-shirt. Another t-shirt.
It's always concert t-shirts. Everything he comes out with is an album cover or concert t-shirt. It's so cool.
He speaks.
Good.
well, it definitely shows my background. I mean, that was my background when I started. It was all in entertainment and definitely in music and entertainment. So there you go. So it's
That's same with me. Same background. Is that exact same as you? Yeah.
Oh, right on. I can't wait to hear more about it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love the colors on that, man. I don't know. That's just tripping. It's tripping me out.
Yeah.
And speaking back to Matt's sculpture, when you have stacked eyes on a sculpture, it throws my brain into like a seizure, and I get headaches because I could never sculpt anything like this because it messes with my brain staring at two eyes stacked on top of each other. So I've always wanted to sculpt something like that, but I just haven't.
Dude, to add to it, what he's saying there, Jay, is I can't get over how you got it so smooth. It's seamless, like where the top teeth would normally be. It just ties into it's like where the teeth should be is an eyeball, and they're looking at each other.
I couldn't have thought of a better way to tie the skull in. I couldn't.
It's so good. We might need an intervention on Matt because he has a drug problem. There's definitely a drug problem here.
You're way too creative over there. You have to stop.
Yeah, definitely ayahuasca.
And you can tell we use that metal scraper to make it really super smooth, like on the snake and on the forehead and stuff like that. So definitely something I learned from you.
Yeah, actually, Jay, you probably use this all the time.
Yeah, like a flat rake, I guess I call it.
Yeah, and it's honestly just like the really, really flimsy, but it's perfect enough where when you're scraping like on the side of something, it actually makes a perfect nice. Yeah,
you don't use the rake side; you use the flat side without the teeth on it, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
I was wondering how you got these things so smooth.
Yeah,
I
super
gotta start
smooth.
using one of those. I gotta get up to par with this shit.
Oh, stop! All right, let's move along. God, I'm gonna start crying.
So, Jay, I'd like to introduce you to the fourth member of Carvers and Creators, responsible for choosing your carving subject tonight.
Oh, God.
It is the hollow wheel, the center spinner, and as always, Paul will explain more right now.
Hello, children. Happy Thursday, everybody. Here we are again. Episode 650,000. That's not a real number, I know. Okay. The wheel. Tonight we have on the wheel. The subjects will be non-face. If we hit Nightmare Fuel, we'll do a respin because it's fresh in the memory. Voluptuous, fantasy, psychopathic, outer space, guest choice, cartoon-ish. How high were we when we chose cartoonish? I feel like we were maybe primate and villain. And then the second spin will be the emotion. Horny, terrified, enraged, irritated, elated, grizzled, stoned, euphoric, confused, repulsive. Oh, that is a cornucopia of anxiety. Here we go.
Can we get none of those somehow?
Yes, I'm going to break the wheel right now. I'm going to
Please, just kind of blast them.
No whammies.
Oh God, please.
Cartoon-ish.
You had to say that.
Of course. You blew it.
My connection's breaking up. I may drop out at some point.
That. Oh my God. Okay.
All right, so that's all it is, cartoonish. Oh, is there another one now?
Yeah, now we're gonna do
what do you think? We're one-trick ponies, Jay?
Oh God, I can handle cartoonish. Now I'm gonna get on. Now it's another go here. Okay.
Oh, here we go. This is what he's got to be doing.
That's a good spin, by the
way. Elated, cartoonish.
Okay.
Elated,
cartoonish.
So
which is good because cartoonish is, expressive. So cartoonish though. Elated. Now, did everybody's mind go to a specific cartoon? Because mine did for whatever reason.
Oh, interesting.
Which sucks because I don't want to do that cartoon. But I was drawn instantly to please, Eddie.
Please, Eddie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. It just popped in there.
I don't eat jam because of that movie.
Really?
There's a long story. When I was a kid, there's a cut of that movie where when Christopher Lloyd gets run over at the end. Sorry for the spoilers. You haven't seen it. I mean,
yeah, right.
Opportunity.
Good point. Good point.
Where he gets flattened by the steamroller and this goo comes out of his eyes, and I associated it right when I was a kid with jam, and since then I can't eat fire jam.
Yep.
It ruined a whole section of baked goods for me.
No. How the hell do you go? How do you live the rest of your life without a jelly donut?
Oh God! I just ever since then the jelly donut makes me feel sick to think about. I'm going to be honest.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Anything I don't. Fruit has no place in dessert in my mind.
What?
It just doesn't.
That's what? No,
I can't do it. I can't.
Come on, man. Come on. I don't like your attitude. I don't like your attitude.
We're getting off to a bad start here.
Desserts. Apple pie.
Help us out here.
I haven't eaten dinner yet. Don't get me going on food.
All right. So if you're carving with us, if you're creating with us, we're going to give you 5 minutes to get your tools together, whatever you're creating with. Let's go around the horn and see what our carving oil is for tonight. And let's start out with Jay. Jay, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking lemonade.
Oh,
that cool, refreshing drink. Yes,
yes. And we were just talking about Eddie earlier. That's awesome.
I may have indulged in a completely legal candy before this as well. So in the state of
I don't think it's illegal anymore.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, well. I hope it wasn't jam candy.
Jam candy.
Matt, what do you got?
Okay, so I'm excited to share this one because the best team in the NBA, what's happening here? I'm all small. Okay, the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, look at that.
That's awesome.
I should have not shrinked my head in this one, but so that's what I'm drinking. So it's the Suns Brew, which is from Four Peaks, which is an Arizona brewery. It's a Kolsch ale of some sort. But anyway, they just got, record franchise wins and the Lakers were eliminated. So I'm happy.
Yay. As a long suffering Phoenix Suns fan, I applaud you. This is awesome. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Super cool. Paul, what do you got?
Oh, I'm such a cliche. That's all I had. I already drank everything else.
All right. Oh, it's all good. Oh, wow.
Wicked.
The Carver from Boston. That's all I had in the fridge. They give it to us. It's like block cheese and peanut butter. They supply us with Wicked Easies here in Boston.
That's lager's great, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it better than the Wicked Hazy. Wicked Hazy is
it's a little too much.
Yeah, I can't drink 48 of those.
No,
I can drink 48 of these.
The sessions are a little bit lower on alcohol, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just the overall. What's the flavor thing? The IB, is it IBUs?
It's the bitterness. Yeah.
The bitterness. Yeah, the Wicked Haze is a little much. I mean, I like a good IPA
Right.
too, but for whatever reason, when it comes in a little can,
Yeah. Right.
it should be Michael Jackson. I mean, I'm sorry, was that a lot?
Well, the session's like half of that, basically. So it'd be more drinkable, and what they call crushable, which means you can drink a whole bunch of them.
Hence why I said 48. Yes.
There we
Not
go.
really 48. Don't.
There we go.
So it is opening day for baseball season. That's why I'm wearing my Stan the Man
Nice.
Cardinals t-shirt. But
nice.
I'm going actually with the Cardinals rival, a beer from Chicago. This is the Vallejo IPA from Half Acre Brewing, which when I was in Chicago, everybody says, yes, you need to check out Half Acre. So they actually had it out here. So I definitely snatched it up, and it's delicious. It's got a cool can. Great artwork on the can.
That is cool.
So
cheers. Time out. What are the what's the IBUs? I want to hear the stats.
You call it technical crap here. Come on.
Yeah.
Matt and I had like very generic local beer.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? They only have the it's 6.7 ABV, but none of the IBU. So I have to look it up actually.
How about FLOZ? You got any of those on there?
It is 16.7 FLOZ.
Oh wow.
That is BS, actually.
And the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy. No. Okay, that's getting too deep.
Written in 1950, nor wear shoes or work.
No better shoes or work.
So cheers to all of our creations.
Yes.
Thank you, Jay, for joining us.
Thanks, Jay.
And thank you for creating with us.
Oh, no sweat. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
a weird one. I mean, it's weird, but it also has openings, right?
Yeah.
A cartoonish opens up a bunch of stuff and apparently closes a bunch of doors because I can't think of a damn thing. Matt, you got some great produce.
But look at this. Yeah, so far
Those
I've
are
gotten
good
this.
shapes, man.
This is going to be something amazing, or not. And then,
You got a bunch of those bells, though, that when they're shaped like the bell, they're nice.
I know, because this thing's like a mile thick at the top, so
Yeah.
I'm happy. I just have no idea what the hell carve. That's
Mine looks like a butternut squash. Like
mine's a chode. Mine's a nice little chode. That's what you want.
Chode. Such a terrible word. I love it.
It is. It's
the worst
the tuna
word.
can. Yeah, whatever.
Well, there goes our G rating.
Yeah.
So Jay, tell us about your background and how you started and like where you got to be. Tell us everything in 5 minutes. How you got to be how as good as you are.
Ready, set, go.
Don't put it on the
And
spot.
That's quite the story. So I started in the music industry. I was in there for about 10 years. I was in bands and stuff like that. I had left high school. My first band, I got a record contract, and I pursued music for a really long time. And then got to play some really great artists from the States. And we've done TV. We, as a band, did stuff. We had a TV show on MTV we were working on and whatnot. And I just kind of ended up, and one of our bandmates ended up unfortunately passing away, and I was getting burnt out by the music industry. So I decided to go back to school. And I went back to school, and I took graphic design and advertising. And then shortly after graduating, I got brought on by a company. It was a special effects company who needed some rebranding done. And they just asked me, since if I went gone to art school, if I could sculpt. And I said, no, I've never sculpted before, right?
Wow.
So I just gave it a shot, and I had a knack for it. I could do it, and I kind of just stuck with it. And within a year or two, I started my own company, and then kind of here I am.
Wow.
Jesus, too bad somebody in the financial thing didn't ask you if you could count money. No, I've never counted money before, but I totally can.
But yeah, that's about it. The music industry thing just was draining on me, so I wanted to get out of that. So it's nice because you get to work for yourself too, make your own hours, which is uncommon too, right? So
right. Any chance we could know the name of the band? Is it something we might know?
My first band, we were called Ever Since Eve, but we were playing with groups. We played bigger shows with bands. They're Canadian, so I don't know if you guys know them, but like 3 days.
Rush?
Like 3 day Rush. I'd throw up.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Like 3 Days Grace.
I know 3 days. Nickelback?
Yeah. Big Wreck. Thorn.
Right on.
All that stuff. And then my last gig, I was playing for Leslie Carter, who's the sister of Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. And we were doing her album while simultaneously filming a follow-up to their MTV show, Meet the Carters. So we did that TV thing for a while. And then, I just decided to go back to school. I said, that's enough of that. And then here we are.
Man, wow. Must be nice to have options.
Yeah. I really call them options. I was like, when that ended, I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? I haven't taken a test since high school. I'm like 27. You know, like I have to go back to college. Like it was weird, you know?
Yeah, but it's like you found the coolest backup plan in history.
Yes.
I didn't know. I haven't been sculpting that long, right? So like you see these guys like Jordu, and they've been sculpting for like 30, 40 years, and just like, man, it's sometimes you going on Instagram can be defeating. You just see the level of work out there.
Right.
Good Lord. Yeah.
Well, I also thought of quitting sculpting after seeing Matt's sculpture from this week. So I know you're saying. I feel it.
Good night, everyone.
But and then I had the business going for about 3 or 4 years, and then there was a rough patch where I wasn't feeling creative and stuff like that, and I was going to quit, and I was going to stop, and kind of something crazy happened. I was like, I'm going to do one more sculpt. I'm going to do something for me. I'm not going to do it to sell or make for anyone else. And I sculpted Harry from Harry and the Hendersons, the big Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And, I sculpted it, and this is the point where I was just ready to kind of call it quits. And when I sculpted it, I got a message from Rick Baker.
Cut the shiza.
Yeah, and then they're going back and forth, and he was saying that he liked it or whatever, and then he started following me on Instagram, and then I started following him, and blah blah blah, and we chatted a couple times here or there, but it was just like divine intervention, because it was like enough of a kick in my butt to know I was at least in the right direction. If I was
that's so great.
So then that kept me to push to get to my business where it is now, right? So which is like that one moment saved everything for me. You know what I mean? So
it's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
Little encouragement.
Little encouragement, but that was wild. Couldn't believe
so
that.
If you're listening, Rick, Matt and I are going to quit if you don't follow us on Instagram.
Yeah. Any day now.
Had it.
You're going to end it. I'm done.
Son.
Wow. So Jay, like your ascension actually is very similar to what I did. I mean, I didn't go to college. I just went straight out of high school, and I go, oh, what's the next best thing you can do to go into college? I worked at a record store for and I share my pay stub. I made $4 an hour.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was probably the best record store employee you could have. Unfortunately, it wasn't paying the bills, but I knew that they had a graphic art department, right. and I said, like, if I'm Hell or High Water, which is a Y&T song, for those of you out there, Hell or High Water, I'm going to get in that graphic design. It's like literally. It's my only hope, and so I met my future friend and mentor, Jody Moss, who we've had on the show.
Jody.
And little did I know that it was her husband Mike is like a sculptor, she's a painter, and I basically just started doing like that. And the way that you speak about, like, they would just come to you with certain different things. They'd go, oh, can you make DVD artwork? Or I'm sorry, back then it was like CD artwork. And I go, yes.
Of course.
And quickly I went to, I don't know, like Walden Books or Barnes and Noble or whatever it was.
CD artwork.
I went and bought like how to do it in Quark. Express.
Oh, I use cork. I used to use it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And there's a lot of there's still companies that use cork, which is kind of amazing. But anyway, like I went and quickly learned it, and that's how I got like basically my on the job training. It was like I had to train myself really quickly. And from that, it just got more opportunities and stuff like that. But then you got to a point where you hit your head on the ceiling, and you probably did too.
Yep.
And you said, like, what can I do? And where am I going to take this? And
so what direction you're going to go in, right?
Yeah,
exactly. I'd done a whole bunch of cool things, but I was like, I had so much more that I wanted to do artistically. And I was like, I got to take a chance now. And back then it was before I'm going to turn 30. Like, what am I going to show for myself? You know,
That's what I've done with my life.
Exactly. Yeah. So like at 27, I moved out to LA, and like from there, it's skyrocketed. But it was a grind though. It was definitely a grind.
Yeah, like anything in that field is such a grind, right? Because I don't know about that time, but now especially, it's so oversaturated with people coming out of schools and stuff like that. And
yep. Like, good. Yeah.
And like when you get into companies doing that stuff, you're very expendable to them because they can just get another intern from whatever universities in the area, and so it's like a lot of those guys, you see them all going freelance now, right? But,
yep.
It's a great business if you can find work in it. It's awesome.
Well, you touched on something that's really important there. It's entertainment, so it's very speculative. So you still have to like look for work and find your next job.
That's the thing with the movie industry here, doing what that we do here in Toronto, is that once a movie shut down and you finish production on it, it's like, well, you got to find another movie to work on. It's not going to come. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. It's like you have to line stuff up, you know.
And I think it's a lot easier now with like Instagram and putting your stuff out there. Do a lot of people reach out to you because of your social media presence?
Yeah, I actually got a great opportunity this year because of that. Yeah, to work on a film, and and it was a David Cronenberg movie, so it was really cool. So
wow, that's awesome.
One of my favorite like scanners and the fly and everything. Guys are legend. Yeah. But yeah, I've done on here. I've had bands contact me. Like, there's this group. I don't know if I should be saying their names or anything. Should I?
Yeah, you absolutely.
You can put it in the private chat so we can go crazy over it.
No NDAs on this show.
It was Celine Dion.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Does it rhyme with Toys of Fen?
But this band Beartooth contacted me, and they were going on this big world tour, and they needed the artwork for their CD case. You were just speaking about that. They wanted a mask to be able to wear on tour and stuff like that. And,
no way.
And I guess they were saying, I think they're saying they're going out with Metallica, and they're doing this big stadium thing, and so they wanted this big production show thing. So I sculpted that. I got that through social media too. A lot of my best opportunities have all come through social media.
That's so
cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it just connects everybody, right? I needed hair stuff done, right? And and I'm like, oh wait, I follow 6 people who just do hair punching work or the special effects hair work. It's just that link got to be dead now with Instagram, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I think that's how Paul and I met. Is just goofing around on social media, but then everybody we've ever brought on the show and talked to since then has literally been. We're admittedly both Paul and I and Mickey now he's jumped in are like sculpture fans to all of you guys to the point where we're like, and now we have no fear. We're like, we're going to reach out to you and Jordu and all these crazy amazing sculptors like Jonathan and all these guys, and next thing you know it's such a great open community. They're like, yeah, we'll come on your dumb little show, and we'll when
I heard about it, when you guys I always said there should be a show like this, and there wasn't. There's no one doing anything like this. And like I found a few podcasts where people were talking about it, but talking about it and physically doing something so people can watch the process is such an important part of like the whole experience, right?
Yeah,
that's why your guys' whole platform is just it's smart. That's why it does well,
Well, thank you for recognizing it. We're going to copyright it, and anybody else that tries to do it going forward, we're going to sue the shizer out of you. No, well, the whole thing was, it was like it started during lockdown, and Matt and I were stuck at home carving, and just it worked out. And then when we decided to do the show, like you said, nobody was really doing it because I was looking for it and Matt was looking for it. And then when we brought Mick in, Mick had the experience of doing all this fancy stuff because he's an artist. It's just the match made in heaven, right? Why not do it? We're going to be doing it anyway. Maybe we can get some of our friends that we know that carve pumpkins. That's really what started it. Our buddies that we knew from the pumpkin carving world. And from there it was, well, maybe, because Matt was on Halloween Wars, so Matt has a lot of connections with cake artists. And that's just another cool genre. And that's like more sculptural as well. And then it was like, well, I'm going to out on a limb, reach out to an actual sculptor and see. And then now all of a sudden it's like, holy Moses. They got back to me and said yes. I'm waiting for Jim Carrey to get back to me. I mean, people do the drunk texting. I do drunk invites to the show. I'm like, I didn't even know I followed Obama on Instagram, but apparently he said yes.
Yeah, good. He's going to be carving along with us. I like it.
Yeah, he's going to take the challenge.
He's a big fan of Obama of a show called I think it's The Boys.
The two kids that listen to the music there?
Yeah, like The Boy. Have you seen that?
What, the Instagram show or the actual Netflix show?
The Amazon show, The Boys.
The Amazon show. That's fantastic.
I
love it.
Obama is supposedly a really, really big fan of that, like huge. And I have a very close friend of mine who can't say too much, but did something for him because of it.
Oh, nice. Very
cool.
Yeah. A guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
I was gonna say because I actually got some work out of that through. Now it's all circling back, right? Yeah. I got to carve pumpkins for the Amazon Prime Video TikTok of characters from the show.
No way.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was like out of my wheelhouse, so it tested me a little bit.
How long did you have like the lead time to finish them?
Oh, it was quick. It was like a week to do.
Dude, that's nuts. Yeah, that's hard.
I think I got 3 done in a week.
That's
and
a lot.
And you gotta compress the video down and make sure it. They just wanted the time lapses and some video of the work, but it's like, wow, you're seeing 5 hours of my life compressed into 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's harder than it looks. Yes.
But it was awesome. I mean, they were awesome to work with, and that's one of my favorite Amazon Prime shows.
Man, that first episode where the girlfriend and the guy are sitting on the sidewalk, and then the flash hits her, and she just
that's the very first scene of the entire series.
So
that's when you're like, I'm in, sign me up.
Yeah, so good, man. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's coming back. I want to say June. I think June.
I think they just finished filming it here because I was seeing pictures.
Is it filmed in up there?
In Toronto, yeah.
Oh, how cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's all filmed down here.
Toronto. I mean, Canada has become the Hollywood of the North, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, like us in Vancouver. Yeah.
Between Toronto and Vancouver, my God, yeah, like they've sucked up all the talent from the States, and like we've had people on our show who are who either live there or they work for companies that are up there, either sculptors or production. I mean, it's amazing what people. They'll gravitate towards other people from a talent perspective, but it's you guys are the besides being America's hat, you are now
gladly America's hat.
You guys are now the Hollywood of Del Norte.
Yeah, Vancouver's got a booming scene up there. Yeah, now too. It's just it's really blown up, especially with COVID. For some reason, there's just more and more stuff here now, right?
It happened before that because everything in here in LA bugged out because of it cost too much to do everything here.
Oh yeah,
so it all went to New Mexico. That's
Atlanta,
like Breaking Bad. Like it's supposed to be like a Riverside, California. If you know Riverside out here, they didn't want to do it in Riverside. They did it in New Mexico. But then they moved everything up north. It was more cost effective. They probably got more perks.
Oh yeah, like the shooting location costs are way cheaper. LA and stuff like that. My God, I couldn't. What does it cost to shut down a street in LA? It can't be friggin' cheap.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, you just throw a couple tents there, and they'll just say that everybody's been displaced, and you're all set.
Yeah,
You're all good to
that's
go.
what you gotta do.
Have fun,
Yep.
guys.
It's that easy. It
really is.
That's like that reminds me. I don't know if you guys are into like 80s horror movies at all, but
Sure.
there's a Friday the 13th Part 8, and it's called Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yep.
So for people that don't know, it's you're starting this movie, and you're like, oh great, Jason's going to be in New York, right? And then the first hour and 20 minutes are on a boat, and then he gets off, and then there's one scene of him walking in Central Park, and then that's it, he dies.
Spoiler.
Jason takes a boat.
Hey, but just so you guys know, he comes back.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Sorry, man.
It's a perfect segue to look at this bus, dude. There you go.
Yes.
Exactly.
Worked out perfectly.
There you go.
Yeah, that's from Part 8 there. That's the Part 8 look there, yeah.
Part 8. Can you believe it? Imagine on the first one, do you think anybody on set was like, I hope we're around for Part 8?
I've heard stories from the first set. I didn't think they even wanted to be on that one.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I didn't know.
Was Kevin Bacon wasn't in one? Was it 2?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Was it 1?
Yeah,
That's when it was the mom, right?
A lot of huge celebrities' first roles were in horror movies. Like Johnny Depp's first movie was Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember, yep.
Yeah, so like a few of them got their starts like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Jamie Lee Curtis and other big, but my God, yeah.
Well, the thing with Jamie Lee Curtis is she was already famous before even acting because of her parents, right? Because Tony Curtis and
oh, good point.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
So like she had it made in the shade, as they say. But yeah, I will say she's phenomenal in the new Halloween movies. She is doing an amazing job in those.
I like Jamie Lee Curtis. She's good. True Lies, fantastic.
Yeah,
Trading Places.
Trading Places.
Yes,
awesome. He's great.
Mickey, we're going down the same path on a Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's a great actress, but did you see her in Trading Places?
Yeah. Now, the beauty, I think, of so I'm going to geek out for a second because there's a few things that you do, Jay, that are just like insanely amazing. And now I'm testing Mickey in a way because there's a few that, and you may have one of these, but the Witch Doctor is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, I like the Witch Doctor too.
The Bone Chewer, I think you've got that one that has like what's it, bone? Yeah, right. What's the teeth?
Yeah, the Bone Chewer, the zombie. Yeah.
The zombie's lips are all he's completely destroyed his own mouth. And then the one you did that just is just an all-time favorite is the Fairy Eater from from Pan's Labyrinth.
I did that for a reason because that was the first thing I ever sculpted when I was very first starting out. Yeah, and then I obviously started to hate it because I'm like, I could do so much better now. And then it took all these years, and then finally I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back and redo everything again so I can, because I've learned so much, right? So that was the first one I decided to resculpt, and it's obnoxiously hard, but it looks easy. I will say.
But it looks to me, having messed with a bunch of squash and stuff, it looks impossibly hard because of the skin is like drooping off its face, but you have to have that look that look at that. I mean, it's so awesome. To me, it is such a like insanely scary looking thing, and when you watch that movie, that movie. Il Fono is one, or whatever the fawn guy, right? And right. One, but this is the other character in that movie that just completely shock you out of your skin. And
I still say that movie has the best new original character creations in a movie in the last 20 years. Like,
I agree.
Even if you watch some of the Hellboy stuff, some of the background characters they have in that would just blow your mind. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was kind of going to say that. I thought if Hellboy stands out for me as one that has insanely good characters.
Oh god, everything in that movie. It's like the new one was like, okay, you know what I mean? It's a Hellboy. I'm happy I got to watch a new one, but like you got to get Ron Perlman back in there for God's sakes.
That's what I was gonna say. Like he's already got Stranger Things. Why are you gonna throw him into this role?
Yeah, he doesn't need anything else. That guy's set for life with Stranger Things.
He's good. And Ron Perlman looks like a goddamn monster. No offense, Ron.
Ron Perlman.
He does. Close up. He's perfect already as a monster.
He was the Beast, for God's sakes, on the television adaptation of Beauty and the Beast.
Exactly.
Which was also filmed in Toronto.
Was it really?
Surprising enough, yeah, with Linda Hamilton.
Step back, you hoser. You're lying.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud.
Yeah, bud.
Oh, fuck yeah,
Get her
bud.
patter. Let's get at her.
Peter
Let's
Pan,
get some.
bud.
Throw me a moose head, yo.
Yo, was that downtown? Was that Detroit or was that?
No, I'm going
Wrong side of the lake.
downtown Toronto. Downtown.
Oh, is that what it was? Sorry, my bad.
Sick here. I have no clue where I'm going with this, but it looks scary.
Yep. Welcome to the club, Jay. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, we don't either until we're finished.
I
like it. I tread lightly.
Yeah,
Until like 0 hour.
I take 6 months, 3 weeks to 6 months to do a sculpt. So this is a new territory for me here.
Oh, that's all right. You got another 40 minutes. That's fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're 40 minutes. It's all good. That's what I'm if I ever went on one of those Food Network shows, I'd be pulling my fucking hair out.
Yeah, exactly.
You have 10 minutes to finish this entire project.
That's what happened to me. I had a full head, going into this.
Yeah.
You left it all on the floor.
So Jay, Mickey is probably the only one on this little four square that isn't a musician in some form or another.
Yep.
And so Paul and I play the drums, and it's okay. Admittedly, it's been a while for us with COVID. For me, I just kind of stepped away, but bands and stuff like that. And I know you're you shred the living hell out of guitars.
Okay.
Do you ever play anymore? Or do you? I mean, to me, it's like I know I miss it. It's like I'm missing an appendage. Like I'm not playing, but I have this creative outlet that I think you help fill gaps. Do you ever play at all anymore?
Yeah, the thing with me is that I don't know. You guys have probably experienced this too. Is like all of my hobbies turned into full-time professions for me. Right? Like it happened with music, and then it happened with art. So it's like I bounce back to music when I'm getting fried here. I still play guitar every day for at least an hour or two.
Okay.
Yeah, just to keep my chops up and stuff like that, so I don't get too rusty and my hands don't hurt when I play. But yeah, I am always playing guitar. I love songwriting, so I'll just write my own songs.
Wow.
I'll play the solo to Comfortably Numb over and over again on a backing track with.
Wow.
Awesome.
We might have to ask you to do that on this show in 5 minutes. But
I would gladly play Comfortably Numb for you guys.
Are all your songs about sculpting?
They're all about sculpting or sculpting related special effects products.
You're like, damn it, it all ties back in.
It's another Clay song. Here we go, guys.
Monster Clay.
Let's talk about the tools this time, everybody.
Rhymes with Chavant.
Rhymes with Chavant. Oh, but I'll tell you that's the one good thing getting out of the music industry. I had really bad gear acquisition syndrome where I would buy equipment, and it just
really.
Oh, good Lord, I know.
Guitars everywhere, and it was just, and you never use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just feel safer knowing it's in your home.
Right.
It's just, but that's calmed down a lot. So I kept a few of the gems that I had from back in the day, and
I'm sure we've gone through that. I used to get cymbal envy, Matt.
I have, yeah, exactly. And I see some crazy symbols and I'm the same way, Paul. You and
like snare envy. Like I had to go out and get the Superphonic because Bonham had it, and somehow it was going to make me play like Bonham.
Yeah.
And then you forget that the thing's mic top and bottom and condensed down and all the recordings, and you're like, how come it doesn't sound like the Bonham snare? Well, and it's deeper, so you're like, why is it so much higher? Why do I keep racking my knuckle when I'm trying to do something?
Bottom was unbelievable. He's the
man. He's the man.
Yeah, it was just he made it look so GD easy. It was like there wasn't a single time where he played it was like any kind of a struggle, and he's doing these triples, and anyway, I'm with you guys.
Yeah, dude, this stuff Bonham did was nuts. But he was also like just annihilated drunk the whole time. So he was just always relaxed and in the groove. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Yeah, but that's a lot of those grooves were jazz based too. So it's a lot of snare work, like halftime shuffles and stuff like that. It take a lot of timing, and he would count them off and throw an F-bomb in the middle. 1, 2, 5, that was an animal.
Yeah, he was ridiculous. Jason Bonham's actually really great too.
Jason's good.
Yep.
Yeah. How could you not be growing up in that household?
Yeah, you get it's in your blood. Yeah.
It's like if Wolfgang was a hack.
Yeah.
He's awesome too. That's gotta suck though, man. Being the son of Eddie Van Halen and then trying to be music, like that's gotta be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can only imagine how much
I know I'm sure
life sucked. His life must have totally sucked.
I'm sure it opens doors to a certain degree, but man, oh man, you're always.
He doesn't know what a door is because they were already all open.
Yeah, exactly.
If he saw a doorknob, he'd probably be like, what is this magical thing? Is
Hey,
this a small
Jeeves.
moon?
Yeah. Hey, Jeeves, what is this?
Yes.
I'm used to people opening this for me.
Wolfie, that is a doorknob.
Is that a planet?
This opens this part of the wall.
Do I walk through or do you throw the petals first?
Exactly. You're carrying me, right? No.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, Wolfgang. You're great. Your dad's great. Everybody's great. Sorry, just busting balls.
We're tangent related on this show. We kind of.
It's called jealousy.
That's all it is. It comes out in weird ways.
Yeah.
Well, that's what like Jacob Dylan and Julian Lennon. I mean, they try to disassociate themselves from it, and people are like, "Why?"
Right?
He's like, "Yeah, leverage."
Right.
What are you doing?
I mean, I notice how Julian doesn't associate with Yoko. No,
Yeah,
it's like he's more his dad than his mom's music.
I watched clips of Yoko from back in the day. How did nobody pull her aside and say, "Just listen"?
Pump the brakes. You need to go and do something else.
You're gonna be okay. You
got more money than God. Just go ahead and
you're
chill
not
on the music. Yeah,
dude.
How about this,
man? That unintelligible yodeling stuff is amazing.
There's a famous clip of her doing that, and then Andy Warhol standing in the room, and then Andy Warhol's like literally watching her, and he's like clutching his shirt. He's like,
so what am I witnessing? Oh God! Oh, okay.
He hated it. He just looked like he wanted to explode.
How
That's
about
where
this?
the Campbell soup came from, because she's just like a
Right.
kicked down the road.
How about this? Name a more famous Japanese woman that in the United States or Canada
that isn't anime.
that isn't anime. That's a real
impossible.
person. Yeah, I think
Impossible.
Yoko Ono is
Probably
like,
the biggest.
yeah, probably the biggest person.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't even know she was Japanese.
Neither did I.
I thought she was from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. She was from Baltimore. There, I don't know.
Right?
She might even be faking that. I don't even know. I just assumed that she was Japanese. She might be. She might.
Oh,
be
you were assuming?
Oh,
you know what happens when you assume, Mick?
No, she's definitely Japanese, but like you never know. It's like she could flip it. She's like, oh yeah, like I'm from Antarctica.
She's like, no, I'm Cherokee.
I'm like Guar. I'm from Antarctica.
Exactly.
Oh God, Guar.
I love Guar. They're kind of a shell of their former selves, but they're beautiful
Easy.
puppetry.
Meat Sandwich should have won a Grammy.
Yes.
Amazing.
I didn't know that. Well, their singer passed, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did.
They've lost a couple of people in that band. Yeah.
Jesus.
I think
Shocking.
they're still going though. I think they
Yeah,
recently.
they're still touring and stuff. Yeah.
I saw some chick who I follow on Instagram. She was doing their costuming and all their stuff, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't even know Guar was still around. That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah.
What's her name?
Oh God, I'd have to find it to get my phone, but I think she does a lot of the costume stuff. It's on my friends list. I could send it to you guys, but
is her name Liz Fairborn? Potentially.
Oh, Nick, that's your buddy.
Mickey.
I know. I actually know her.
Field. Here comes Mickey.
If it's that person, it might be somebody else. I'm not sure, but I
Well,
knew
Disco Machine off the top rope once again.
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I know she does the stuff for Guar though, so might be the same chick.
If it is, that's an incredible small world. Yeah. Now, if it's the same person, she now runs like a really popular wrestling promotion. It's like a burlesque / lucha libre wrestling promotion here in LA.
Oh, that's sick.
that I did stuff with. So
Remember when they just used to call that oil wrestling? Mud wrestling?
Boxing, I think.
Now
like
it's
in
boxy
Stripes,
boxing,
with
yeah.
the mud wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, good old days when you could just call it what it was.
Hey, so
You're
Jay,
my
I
boy,
gotta ask
Blue.
you. Oh, here we go. Yeah, odorous urungus. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jay, I gotta ask you. Behind you. So Mickey, flip back to him because I'm staring at stuff that I'm seeing behind Jay that are just
So good.
Like, in beautiful work. I mean, the clown, the Yeti, I mean, all of them. Holy crap! So are those like just one-offs that you've done, or are those like stuff that you've cast and sold, and made for other folks? Or?
No, these are all one-offs. So if you look at these two trolls here, my biggest inspiration in sculpting is Jim Henson.
Oh, could he not be?
Yeah, oh god, it's so
seriously
Jim Henson. And surprisingly, not a lot of people know about it, but he did. You guys might he did a series called The Storyteller.
Yep.
And it was all like these short tales, these like historical short tales, and he added a lot of fantasy and lore to it, and it was all practically done with like giant trolls and like flying devils, and it was all very Jim Henson. It was done in the 80s, and it was groundbreaking. And when I saw it, I'm like, I have to sculpt some stuff from it or something like it. So I kind of took a lot of the inspiration from these two guys from that. Also, this dude's from, I said one reference I used for one on the right behind me is from Ernest Scared Stupid. Have you ever seen
that?
Yeah, but yeah, what was the question again? Sorry.
No, I was inquiring if that was stuff that you made for someone and kind of made a copy.
Yeah, like those are just one-offs. I'm like, I'd just be cool to have two trolls, and that's a double-headed clown. He's got like a conjoined twin vampire brother.
Oh, I love it. Good Lord. So, in what I'm looking at though, so the twin. I mean, you've done suspenders and a shirt and tie. So you've done like the fabric. Oh, and yeah. I know you do Leatherface, and you were working on those recently. So you're doing leather punching and metal work and all kinds of other stuff. So you're beyond the painting, beyond the sculpting and the casting and all that stuff. You're doing kind of everything. So it's one of the things that's kind of recurred on the show is like you have to become a shop of one, a jack of all trades type of thing.
That's the thing. It's like you can't start sculpting and then not know how to paint, because then once you're done a sculpture, who's going to paint it, right? So you have to get good at everything, like herring, finishing work, sourcing stuff, and just being a good multimedia artist in general is so important. Yeah. And that's one of the things I didn't really think about until later on, actually. And then you're just kind of like, oh shit, I got to get my shit together here. I'm not sure what's going on here. I got to get these things up to par. But yeah, it's I like doing one-off stuff like that. I have other trolls I've done, like this witch doctor one, where it's like a bigger kind of.
I love that one. That's my favorite. Yeah,
man. Yeah, that's what, like, I just Jim Henson heavily inspired stuff. I wish I got to do more. I wish I could do more of those. I'm planning to again, at some point in the future, but they take so much time, and being so busy, it's just hard to find it.
Right. Yeah, that's what we've been blessed to have a few people who either worked for Henson or alongside him, or just amazing to be able to hear stories about it. And I know that when it comes to like carving something in his style or something that he used to do is just paying homage to your childhood and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Like, what's your guys' inspirations? You guys obviously had stuff growing up that kind of led you to here or made you want to be creative in this kind of aspect of art, right? Do you have anything, or?
Yeah, I failed at everything else.
It's the only thing I was good at.
Yeah, it's funny.
Jim Henson, for me, the Muppets. I was obsessed with the Muppets and Electric Mayhem from my earliest memories. Mm-hmm. So that was always a huge thing for me, and. So Henson is like the end all be all for me. Everything he ever did growing up, he brought it to life. Yeah. You know what I mean? He was the first one to bring it to life in a style that even as a child it spoke to you. So
you could connect with it still. Like totally. My favorite movie of all time is The Labyrinth, right?
Labyrinth, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Have you heard the story about what happened to Hoggle on The Labyrinth?
No.
Oh, do tell.
So it's insane. So the Hoggle costume was a full animatronic costume that a little person wore, right? Throughout the production. And then towards the final days of filming, when they were done shooting all the Hoggle bits, it disappeared, right? And it disappeared, and for 20, 30 years, nobody knew where it was. It was gone, right? And it's a big piece of history, especially for Jim, right? And everybody. And they found it in 20 years later in the used baggage claim or the lost baggage claim at the Houston airport.
Oh my God.
I think it's Houston, and it was made of foam latex, and unfortunately, foam latex sitting in a hot suitcase in Texas for 20 years isn't going to fare very well.
Right, it degrades.
Yeah. So when they took it out, it was just falling to pieces or whatever. So they wanted to have it restored because I guess the law was, since it's been at the airport that long, they now were the rightful owners of it. So they wanted to display it. So they got somebody to restore it, but I'm not sure how much they'd seen the labyrinth.
Oh, no.
Have you seen the picture of the guy who taxidermied a lion in the 1800s who had never seen what a lion looked like?
Wow.
So
That's how I feel when I sculpt every week.
Yeah. So it just they restored it, but it ended up looking far worse, and it's still sitting in the baggage claim, used baggage claim section at that airport. It's behind glass.
No way.
And
I'm going to make a trip to go there now, just to go to Houston to see it.
Yeah, you wouldn't even recognize it. And then at the time, I released a life-size hoggle that I sculpted.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you. And then all the forums were going on. They're trying to get me to be flown out there to properly restore the hoggle. And then
nice.
I'm
Very
like,
cool.
They're starting to say, I'm like, guys, I haven't signed up for anything. It's a lot of work. I'm just like, I appreciate it, but it would be nice if somebody restored it because it's such an important piece of like movie history, right? It's kind of something that ended up.
Kind of sounded like you were jockeying for it there a little bit. I think we
Yeah,
could
I
a couple strings for you there.
I don't know.
You know,
I don't want to be the guy to fuck up Hoggle for a second time. You know?
No, that guy already did it. So whatever you do is going to be 10 times better.
It's already at the bottom. Anything I do is better.
So you got to, hey, listen, I've lived my life that way. Set the bar real low. Nobody can ever be disappointed by you.
But yeah, the Labyrinth, man. And dude, if you watch the Labyrinth now, if you showed that to a kid, they'd be terrified. It's a horror movie, basically.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, we got it recently in like the Criterion, whatever. Now again, cinematically, if you just looked at it without the stuff we look at, you know, you'd think, oh, okay, all right, well. Look at the bulge in Bowie's pants. There's not a lot of, but when you look at what it took to create the actual puppetry and that kind of thing, that's the part that is magical to me still. Like watching, all those things. And like, remember, what was the Emmett Otter's Jugman Christmas?
No.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So there's a puppet. Okay, just look up Emmett Otter's Jugman Christmas. So he does. So it's a Henson movie that it was where the first time I think where Kermit rode a bike, and I remember he's like literally physically riding a bicycle, and they had it all like underneath, they're moving his feet and doing all the I remember watching like being afraid of like some of the villains in the movie and stuff like that, and I'm a kid at the time, but it still holds up, and I remember watching that movie and showing my kids Labyrinth and that kind of stuff, and I'm like, don't look at the it's the overall story in this one, just look at how kick-ass the actual puppetry and physical effects and all the
what was the reaction to it? Did they enjoy it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean I've got a couple of kids I've got 3 daughters, and a couple of them are more movie files and others, and they look at it kind of holistically and like, well, that wasn't the best story in the world, and why did they take the baby, and like all those little things.
Developing.
The plot, has some holes in it, but when it came to like what I love, they totally got all that stuff, and because a lot of they're artists too, and they know what it takes to make all that stuff.
Yeah, they know the work that goes into it. Like,
oh my god,
hours.
Yeah, Kermit riding the bike is in Muppet Movie, right?
Was it Muppet Movie?
It was in Muppet Movie, yeah. I remember seeing that in the theater.
Then I need to stop having one of these drinks. And
Mickey, nobody likes a fact checker.
Yeah, come on. We were having a good time until then. Jesus.
I remember
you know what?
What's that?
No, I was just gonna say the bear with the sunglasses. Was it a bear or a badger?
Yeah, a bear, the River Bottom Nightmare Gang.
Yeah, the deep voice.
Yeah.
And then the snake. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's
that was a Christmas special. So that was what back in the day when there were no DVRs. So you sat your ass in front and you watched every commercial, because if it came back and you were at the fridge grabbing a snack, you were gonna miss it.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You never
That
see
was
it.
Now you got to search on some third-rate cable network to find Rudolph
Yeah.
on one night. They don't
exactly.
air it again.
And try to get lucky. Yeah.
No, nobody gets lucky after watching Rudolph.
Oh, no, man. Yeah. Good point. Good point.
No.
The reason I remember that, Matt, is like the Muppet movie came out, and at the time my parents were like not getting along and eventually got divorced. And what not that this was one of the
Way to
reasons why
bring it
they got
down, man.
divorced,
Oh,
but they both sided on they didn't want to know how the Kermit riding the bicycle was done. The other one definitely wanted to know more than life itself.
So based on that conversation, whoever won that conversation, is that who got custody?
yes.
There you go.
It definitely
That's
had
why
a
you know.
tweet
So.
about me for sure.
Yeah, okay. Well, then I relent about feeling bad that I got the wrong movie, because that was clearly a scarred childhood memory.
Yeah, exactly. No,
You
it
and your
was,
brothers like ended up going with your mom because of that answer. I'm like, good lord.
by the way,
Right.
my father also got in a fight with someone at the theater of the Muppet movie. This is a true story.
Huh.
There's a rabid
So-
Hanson fan.
This
Who
is
It says
Jay.
a lot
Little
about
did you,
me.
Jay. Little did you know you'd be like you'd be sending Mickey to the shrink after the show.
I was gonna say, send an invoice.
Tim Henson.
just unearthing a lot of trauma there with that.
This is not. He's headed tomorrow to the shrink.
It's a joke that I've said actually like to a lot of people. It's like my father got mad at the Muppet movie. That's how angry he was.
Just livid.
Oh my God, nothing. Okay, let's show more of Jay's work, and obviously influenced by horror
There's my
movies.
kitten.
You know, so good.
That's my kitten, Eleanor.
Exactly.
Hanging out. I didn't sculpt that mask. I just painted that one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So this one you
I did the severed hand there.
okay.
Okay.
I did the blow
Wow.
up.
So good. So
Yeah,
good.
there's this severed head. Yeah.
You do a lot of Freddy heads with different facial expressions with it,
Yes.
which I think is dynamite.
I like I've sculpted so many that I can do it in my sleep now. I just know the anatomy.
Right.
It's the one
Oh,
thing-
okay.
like the one thing I don't find sculpting easy. I find it really hard, but that stuff for some reason I just find it to be easier. So that's why I like pumping them out. You know what I mean?
But you do so many different expressions, which is cool, and so many different the iconic scenes, like with the one where the mouth is completely just wretched in one of those.
Oh
scenes.
yeah, wide open.
Yeah. Like even that's a good, like you get good certain expressions. It's pretty cool that you take the time, number one, like you said, you know the anatomy, but
Yeah,
it's so time consuming. A lot of people don't understand how long it takes to complete a sculpt.
you got to look at that as a portrait, basically, too. So it's like it's
Right.
tricky. That one there, you're saying that's my new Night Terror bust. That took me probably 40 hours to get to that point.
Wow.
Because all the burns are really complicated and stuff. Getting the patterns have to flow in a certain way. So that's burns are a nightmare to sculpt in general. But
Oh my God.
They are. I'll tell you what, though, they are the most gratifying from my end to see somebody do it successful.
oh yeah,
Because it's like the human eye knows when something's right. You know what I mean? So when
It-
somebody does it successful, like you said, it's got flow, it's got pattern,
yeah,
and it's such a weird design. I can't wait to watch Matt do it one day because Matt's good at that stuff. I, however, will never have a burnt squash,
you wouldn't do
but
a
I
little
do
Freddy
love
squash.
when other people can do it.
You could pull off a great Freddy squash, man. That'd be
Yeah, you
sweet.
could.
That'd be awesome to see.
No way, man. I'm
No?
skating my lane.
You could have a tinier squash Freddy hat. You know,
Ooh.
Oh, come on,
Ooh,
man.
There you go.
Put the
Tiny
pressure on me. Why are you doing this, Jay? Why are you putting all the pressure on me?
Put a little tiny kabocha hat on top of them.
Oh, a little kabocha hat? We're getting like all dynamic with squash and everything. Listen, I'm just trying to get through this one. I'm just saying you do burns really, really well. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how it turned into me carving a Freddy cartoon squash.
It always points back to Paul.
That's
Yeah,
the-
no shit. Now I got to change my whole concept. God
All
damn.
roads lead to Paul.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. So hey, on the ones where you do hair, are you punching the hair?
No, so all of my busts are translucent resin. So I cast them in whatever the flesh tone of the character is going to be, and then I build up layers of paint.
Oh, okay.
There. And then basically
that's not latex. It looks latex to me. Wow.
I used to do latex, but it just doesn't have the right feel. My big problem with selling latex busts is I spent 6 months sculpting something, and then I would go out onto Instagram or I'd be tagged and post, and then have it. My sculpture I worked so hard on crammed into a shelf, and the neck is this way, and like it's all. And it's like the sculpture's not there anymore, right? So what I like about the resin is it's hard and it keeps its shape. So like the
okay,
you know. At least
yeah.
me.
So in the case of this kind of thing, since it's a resin, are you just is it the hair typically is it glued on or how is that applied?
You use what's called Elmer's tacky glue for that because it dries clear.
Okay.
And you can't see it once it's actually on there. And it's just knowing how to lay the hair in layers and how to do a proper part with it. You can get it looking pretty accurate. Like,
okay.
I've done some hand punching, but holy, it's very tedious, you know?
Oh, yeah. And the ones who do it really well, you can almost like watch the YouTube videos or whatever and just be like mesmerized and how they layer it over their fingers and just one at a time. Like, how are you getting? My eyes can't even see a hair. I mean, I'd miss it 300 times and hit once. I've
tried doing the hair punching once or twice. It is naughty. I just abandoned ship on it.
Yeah,
just won't do it. I honestly try and sculpt stuff that doesn't have hair to begin with because hair is just a pain in the butt to be honest. But
yeah, so good job with Harry and the Hendersons. Like,
exactly.
I finished that and painted it, and then it sat on my shelf in my shop for 6 months.
Wow.
I just didn't want to get around to it. It's so much hair, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I had a friend help me out. There he is. That's
Crypt Keeper.
Oh, I love that guy.
That was such a great show.
Oh.
I know that was a transformative movie. You asked earlier about like what some inspirations. This is one that was like watching, and it wasn't like if you look back on it now, like it was great at the time, but it was kind of helped catapult me to think of the monster movies and stuff like that. The whole Creep Show episode, like everything from meteor shit to getting buried in the sand and the roaches and then of course the Where's My Cake Bedelia and all those great moments.
Names.
Oh, I just love that movie. But I mean it's like there's so many really cool characters and stuff in that were just so unique at the time. But the Crypt Keeper was the thread, kept them all together.
He was like an icon in the 90s. He just
sure was.
Yeah, it's definitely of the times for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like before South Park. That was the show everyone was talking about, and then South Park came in the late 90s, and it was all over.
Mm-hmm.
But it's supposedly Night Shyamalan is bringing back this show with the Crypt Keeper.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, that's the word on the street.
So I mean,
it was
going to have an ending that doesn't make sense every time.
Yeah, it's just going to be a really confusing twist ending that nobody wants.
Right, and at the end you're going to be like, "How the hell? What? How? What?
What the fuck happened?"
But wasn't remember Crypt Keeper? I remember the '80s show. He always had the corniest dipshit lines in the world, and but it was the puppet, and it was. I remember that was it was HBO show, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was HBO. I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger was on one of them.
Oh,
was he?
Oh yeah, they had huge celebrities coming on that show, like big names, especially towards the middle part of it because it was like in its heyday, right? It was the most popular show.
Yeah,
that thing kept HBO alive for a year or two there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, poor HBO.
I know.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
They'll bounce back.
They'll bounce back.
They could only come up with another good show
someday. Oh God, look at this sea hag.
Yes.
This is the one of the very first things I ever sculpted in 2012 or something, or 2013. I can't remember what it was. I want to do something bigger, but I want to redo her because obviously I see a lot of stuff I want to fix. But I love Legend. That movie's great.
It's the best. It's done so well in such a creepy way.
It's the best depiction of Satan in any movie, in my opinion.
So this is probably very telling. I kept a picture that I cut out of Time magazine of Tim Curry in that thing in my wallet when I was in high school, and I would go look at it. I would pull it out and look at it and put it back, Like I was completely insane. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like looking at a picture, but the horns and the facial structure and everything like that, and the hooves. I mean, that to me, I can't even imagine sculpting that someday. But someday I want to, like once I grow up or whatever. But that to me, still to this day, is the best devil there ever was.
Ever. I sculpted him. I got as far as the whole bust being done. And then I'm like, I just didn't want to have to deal with figuring out the horns. And then I abandoned it in a dumpster.
Oh no. Yeah. See, I'm in the same mindset. I'm like, I can't pay homage to it. It's so good. It's like,
well, it's funny because if you watch the movie, the horns were so large and so widespread, and the point where they had them secured wasn't a good point to secure them. They should have been secured to like his neck to his shoulders, right?
Yeah.
If you watch him in the movie, the horns are just going like
Bouncing.
this. Movie. He's flying all over the place, right?
Yeah. Thank God for still photos.
Yeah. Right. So Jay, I don't want to be a stickler. Throw the picture back up for me a second. Sure. You're so good at detail, and Meg is really detailed out here. Do you even know what color her eyes are? I mean, let's be honest.
No. So listen, what happened here is that that was one of the very first things I did, and I finished it, and then I tried to find because I don't like painting eyes. I think painted eyes on things just look like trash. Like they never work. Right. The only guy that can do it right is Jordu Shell. This is the only guy I've ever seen that can make them look realistic.
Yeah.
And when I did her, I was trying to find the proper eyes, and I just never did. And then I was on to something else, and then never finished it.
I was actually just making a joke about how you did her boobs so nice. What color are her eyes?
Look up here. Move the camera up, Paul.
She's got a head. What? Meg Mucklebones has a head?
Do you know who played Meg Mucklebones? He's the guy
from
Star Trek.
Who?
There you go.
Oh, he's from Star Trek.
McFrazzle Stash from the top rope.
From the left field. My God, McFrazzle Stash. Nice work.
Yeah, man. He played. He's a great character actor.
Oh, now it's really weird because I thought she was pretty. Oh.
Yeah, go. You need to go see the shrink like Mickey.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, looking at her, I'll make anybody shrink. Bing bong. Don't zoom in on me when I'm doing that. They could have got mixed in. Nobody would have known they said it.
No. You have to own it.
Own it.
Good Lord.
Some people think it, I say it. Sorry.
So what do you guys like? I don't know if you're all into like horror and stuff like that, but do you have any like favorite films from like the practical effects genre age of movies and
Totally.
stuff?
Yeah, I'll chime. Mine's The Thing. Like of all time, that one still, and my daughters too. I talked it up so much before I showed them. I'm like, you don't understand. This is so good. This is done in 1981. This you don't understand. And then we showed them, and they love the story, they love the acting, they love all of it. And I was like, okay, I am a good father. That's kind of how I look at it. But that to me is my pinnacle. American Werewolf from London, clearly another one you can watch today and be like blown away by those effects. But yeah, I'd say that's probably my favorite. How about you, Paul?
My two are both Rick Baker ones, and it's American Werewolf in London is my all-time favorite horror movie, hands down, and Harry and the Hendersons. The way they did Harry, it's so realistic that still to this day it doesn't even make sense. I still haven't seen. I want to see the prosthetics and everything how it worked together, because that's a human being's eyes, but the rest of the face is not. It's it's animatronic, but it's done well.
Yeah, so Rick Baker just sold off his whole collection of props he'd kept from his movies. And there's a large section of it was stuff from Harry and the Hendersons. So he sold off all the animatronic Harry heads and the feet and the arms and the hands and everything. And you got to see how they worked. And so it was just massive. Like my Harry, actually, I sculpted is more like a half scale. Because when I saw how big they really were huge. The actor, I think, was 7 feet tall who played him. Wow. And when they went on, it was like it's full of just servo motors and everything. And all you saw was just the actor's eyes. And they were insane. There was some of the most insane prosthetic electronic work I've ever seen. That
to this day, though, even with the CGI, can't even replicate how good that was.
The problem with CGI is they haven't figured out lighting. The lighting never looks right. If they could figure out lighting and CGI and make things like they're actually in the space they're in, it'd be amazing, right? Like I don't know if you guys watched like the new Mandalorian show or like the
it's great.
So the Boba Fett show where they brought back Luke Skywalker, he looked phenomenal. Young Luke Skywalker, you know?
Yeah.
When they were on the bridge there.
Yeah,
the deep fake Luke. Yeah.
So I think it's getting there, but I don't know, man. There's just something about a practical thing in a room that you're never going to replace. You know what I mean? But I get cost and limitations and stuff too. But still,
we've come light years from where we were when we were kids.
Well, if you look at what's that movie, Polar Express? It almost looks. It looks like they're a bunch of dead, you know. And again, at the time, that was a big deal. Remember that?
That's supposed to not be like super realistic, right?
I
kind of. I kind of buy into it like that. But if you throw it into you, like Luke Skywalker is supposed to be standing in front of you. If he looks like Tom Hanks in Polar Express, yeah, we got an issue.
We got a problem.
Houston, we got a problem.
Yeah. He was in that movie too. That was Tom Hanks was like, you know, in Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. As soon as I said that, he jumped right on it. Matt's good. He's so good.
And then it goes back to the Houston airport where we can go see the.
Yes. It's all
and Mickey jumps in and right from. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like geniuses.
Square one. This is
genius.
I'm going to be honest. If I was at the Houston airport, I'd do a smash and grab on that. I'd be going. I won't be under my arms. I'd be sprinting through that airport.
There you go. Why don't you just take the original?
Plane, though. That's the only problem.
Take the original, bring it home, just sculpt a brand new one, and go. This is the one I fixed for you.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. Done.
Yeah.
And then you have the original.
Exactly. That's all it takes.
And no one will ever know because I didn't say it just now.
Exactly. Don't rewind the tape. Yeah.
You do a smash and repair.
Smash and repair. The old bait and switch.
Yeah.
I loved obviously Star Wars. I mean, when the Cantina scene was like mind-blowing that there could be that many characters, right? Right. An underrated one for me is the $6 Million Man. I remember there was one where that like the face, like it was a human, but the face came off, and you could see like the circuitry behind
the robot parts. Yeah,
that was like mind blowing to me at the time. But one of my all time favorite horror movies of all time is one that isn't really spoken about a lot. Is Carrie?
Carrie, eh?
Carrie, Big Blood Carrie.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch it, it's super awkward, and I think that makes it even. And there's a lot of like super religious overtones on it. It's a weird movie, let alone a horror movie. So I always love that as a horror movie. It's like but I was more into comedies than I was like horror movies. So like you guys took the character part of it. Like for instance, I'm marking out for the 7-Up bottle behind there because I went into branding and stuff like that. So that's I'm focused on that. It's
I
like
love old advertising. It's old advertising stuff, like anything. Like I'm obsessed with it too. It's just I did branding in school too, so it's just like it's in my brain.
Yes, absolutely. And making stuff look like of the period. You know, it's like that. This looks 70s.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I like watching that American Picker show because they always find cool ad stuff.
Oh yeah, me too.
That's just such a fucking awesome.
Yeah, but the original guy's gone right now, isn't he? The little guy.
He was. I watched it the other day, and it was like the other dude's brother and him were going around doing stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to start any rumors, but for some reason, I think somebody told me he was in rehab.
Really?
For alcohol, yeah.
You get that Pawn Star or that American Picker money in, and then things go.
Yeah. Next thing you know,
happens, right? Yeah.
You're doing a pick in Des Moines, and next thing you're riding the horse.
Yeah, you're
chasing the dragon, right?
Chasing the dragon all day.
I'm in Nashville. I found a really cool old motorcycle part. Next thing you know, I'm gonna go shoot up.
I'm in an alley.
Transition.
Right. I was looking for old bicycles, and I found heroin.
What's this big balloon back here?
Yeah, oops! I tripped over heroin.
Yeah, this is a big mistake.
No, I heard it was alcohol, but I don't know. What do I know?
What do you got to do?
Tied to this truck with a 3-foot rope.
That's illegal.
I kid.
I can't even bite through this fucking rope.
So we've gone in about 80 minutes. So let's go around the horn and see what everybody's creating. Who wants to go first?
Oh, geez, Louise.
I don't even know what I'm doing yet.
All right. So
I'll go first. How's that? Oh, Matt can go first.
Yeah,
Matt can go first. Matt
will go first. All right. So here's
man.
The lights from the top always kind of ends up being the. Hang on, so I can get this thing turned around.
That's looking great, Matt. You made quick work of that.
Look at that thing.
So this is so he's going to be cartoony because I figured big smile. He's elated. I don't know what I'm going to do with the eyes and the nose and stuff like that, but yeah, he's going to have he'll be happy. And I think there's probably room to add something, or I don't know, but
I like that.
I got to think of cartoony somehow.
Yeah, that's exactly what my issue is.
Nice.
Those teeth look great.
Yeah, and this thing's got it's a big, thick one. Like
it's like nice and deep on it, eh?
Yeah, and I think the lower I go, the lower I go in it, the more I'm going to break through. So I'm trying to not be ginger right here because it's not getting spongy. For us, honestly, it's like if you can push on it and it kind of gives a little bit, you're like, okay, back off. Yeah. But the top part, I mean, I got a mile still. I think it's solid all the way through. So it makes it a lot easier for us.
Is there any way for you guys to tell when you're at the grocery store picking these out, if like to feel what's going to be a good one and what's not? Or
for me, there's a couple things. Like, see this little tiny green line right here? All right. So if they're more green, then okay, here's another one that doesn't have that same thing. So the fresher is better on a squash, and if it's heavy, like right out of the gate, versus one that's a little bit lighter, means it's thicker. So I mean it's only just trial and error at this point. But we're Paul and I have become kind of squash snobs.
I need you to help me pick up watermelons because I always get the shit ones.
Somebody told me it's all about the veining, like the color of the veining. Look that up in Google because I don't pay much attention to watermelon. But when I saw that, it was something about the color of the veining or how wide the veining strips were. You could tell if it was a good sweet watermelon or one of those dog shit ones that you're going to put sugar on.
Really, eh?
Yeah. I swear to God. I don't know where I heard that, but the only way I pick watermelons from now on is I'm going to figure out what that reasoning is.
And Paul, on the bottom, there's like a yellow spot where it touches the ground. And if the more bright yellow it is versus white, means it has more sugar.
Yeah, there's like a couple of things, like where we might be butternut squash snobs, if that's a thing. But there's watermelon snobs, apparently.
Oh yeah, big time.
I just want to be a snob. I want to belong to a snob club. All right, that's what I want.
We'll have them on next week.
We do it with craft beer, Paul.
That's a good point, Mickey. I belong. You like me. You really like me,
Sally.
I know, and I let you down this week too with a Wicked Easy.
It's okay. I let you down last week with my hop tea.
Yeah, you really did.
Let us down many times, Mickey, with all your non-alcoholic.
Really let us down, man.
How dare I?
I'm glad you brought it up.
I don't believe it.
What do you got, Paul, there?
I have a butternut squash that's in the making of being an elated. Elated? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Elated cartoonish. So basically it's Matt's, but in a different shape. Because of the emotion being elated, I knew we were going to both have like big teeth. So I'm going sans nose. I'm going to try and make it very rounded. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like the squishy effect to it. So everything's going to be really rounded and smooth. And I'm going to have huge cartoon teeth, not like a normal amount of chompers on it. And then I just got to figure out how to kind of spice it up.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to go slow. And I don't know if the eyes are going to be closed yet. Like maybe he's really pulling everything up and he's elated and his eyes are closed, or they're going to be completely open and bugging out. I'm going to try and keep the primary shapes before I start getting into secondary shapes here, before I really go down the rabbit hole. So I can't do anything about the shape of it, but it's a cartoon. So most of them are shaped like this anyway, right? So I want to make sure I get like a good profile going too. So I'm going to wrap it around.
Yeah,
Right
some
on.
great stuff.
Lots of work to do, as we know.
Yeah.
This is the blocking phase. I love
These
it.
are the blocking phases. All about shapes.
I love my shapes. All right, I'll do mine here. 1 second.
All right.
There.
Now watch, he'll be done. He's
Yeah.
painting right now.
We started yesterday. We gave
He's
him
got
the
a
thing.
Phantom of the Opera thing. He only has that one side.
I'm trying to beat Fuller. I'm gonna do this even quicker.
Yeah, okay.
Fuller actually chimed in. He has 6 done. He already
He's
he's got a whole cast of characters.
I'm still roughing this out, but I'm doing a happy. You know, EC Comics from the early 70s, where it's like a horror comic, and all the zombies have this particular look to them. So I'm doing a happy version of him, but I'm just sculpting in the smile and the look now.
Holy
Oh
Moses!
my God, dear God, dude, that's so great.
That's fantastic.
Thanks, man.
I quit. I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
right.
give up.
Done.
You can have mine.
I've never sculpted anything this quick before. This is nice to be forced into doing this, because it's like it tests you a lot, man. It's like it's kind of cool.
And you can finish anytime. Yeah, there's no hurry.
No rush on the finish. As long as you don't. I mean, if I finish first, I win, obviously, but it's not a race. So I don't know if you're competitive, but
Now, Jay, you have a fan in Shane. I don't know if you.
Yeah. Definitely loves your work
Easy there.
and loves your hair as well.
oh,
Spectacular hair. Oh Lord, this is why I don't do live streams as much anymore.
See what happens when you get friends show up on these things? They just
Oh God.
well, your friends are nice. Mine completely shit all over me for 90 minutes about the stupid things that I do.
Oh yeah, that's coming. Trust me. I'll get there.
What are you, carving a squash? What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you?
Or you get mom on there, and mom's like, "Honey, you're doing beautiful." You know.
Beautiful work.
Listen, I can speak from experience. My mother watches every episode, and I love her
know.
for it. So
That's
thanks, Ma. You gotta have that support.
Same here. My mom is a fan. So
I'm not sure my mom knows I'm online.
Well, your dad does, and he got mad and shut the show off.
Exactly.
After
He turned over a table, I think.
he fought YouTube.
Yeah. Let's get some let's rip through some of-
Actually, that brings up a good point. I know you're trying to go through things, but you're doing silicone molds of these. What are you casting them in?
resin. Smooth on 65.
65D.
Yeah.
See, I knew it. Look I'm getting better at this shit. I even knew the mod. So that's a rotary casting material, though, right? So you're standing there, like, do you have a rotor caster? Or are you doing this?
I don't have a rotocaster, so I'm doing that. Yeah.
So your arms must be jacked, because I'm doing half faces of a zombie mold, and my shoulders are burning after 5
Oh
minutes.
God, no! I have no upper body strength. It's brutal over here. It's like I found certain ways to alleviate the strain while doing it. Because
do you have like a certain song you listen to that like helps you move? Like,
it's just always Pink Floyd. Everything's always Pink Floyd.
let's
Right on.
get physical.
It's always you put on Pulse, that live show Pulse by Pink Floyd, and then you're good.
right on. Yeah.
But I figured out a few tricks when I sit down when I do it, and then I basically support the mold with my knees. And then I'll do a few rotocast spins, and then I dump it upside down, and it lets the resin kind of sink down. And just as you see it start to drip out again, you're resting it on something while you're doing this. You kind of flip it back up and then do it again. So you're not constantly rotating.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Well,
You're
your
letting
floor,
gravity do its thing inside there. Yeah.
Yeah.
your floor must look awesome.
Yeah, awesome. I get to the shop, brand new hardwood floor, not anymore.
Oh my God. Well, dude, honestly, I'm so pumped to see that you use the same materials that I use for this, because on bigger casts, you always get, different recommendations. Guys use different things, and they use different kinds of casting material. But I find the silicone mold, the brush-on mold, the easiest one to get like a good result out of.
Yeah, because
right?
you can do
and then you do what? You do a two-piece hardcover over it, or whatever is the shell, right? I'm assuming.
I was breaking my back doing the 2-piece shells out of stone, and then I found this cheap product from Smooth On, and it saved my life. And it
plastic paste.
No, that stuff's way too heavy. That's what I was using that too. It's a product called Freeform Air, and it's a 2-part putty epoxy that weighs nothing. Literally 1/2 of a mother mold you could hold up with one finger. It weighs less than air.
Oh wow!
And so I do all of my 2-piece jackets and that alleviates the weight big time. So if you can be careful on how much silicone you're putting down, because you don't need that much. You only need like 1/4 of an inch all the way around the piece, right? Some of my molds weigh nothing. Yeah.
I'm so pumped that you're doing it in the 65D. Oh my God. The light bulb has gone off on Marblehead.
Yeah, dude, the 65D, it has an exothermic kick, but it's very gradual. Like, whereas other resins like Smooth On 325, it goes from liquid to like, boom.
You can see, you can watch it kick. Yeah, it's cool.
And then it's just steam, you know? So it's like, it's nice to be able to have like more time with the 65D, you know?
Wow. So that's even more of like I don't know the word right now because I'm so excited about the thing, but you're an unbelievable painter too, because when you pull those casts, I mean, even if you tint it, it comes out monotone. So
it's just a flat flesh tone, basically.
Yeah.
Right. And then the painting, I have a really close friend of mine, a dear friend of mine named Damon Bishop, who's been in the special effects industry for God knows 20 plus years. He's worked on everything, and he's kind of became my mentor when it came to painting stuff. And I've learned so much from him over the years, and just being such a close with him in terms of friends, he's given me so much information, and it's really helped. I struggled with painting for a long time, and I'm finally kind of getting the trick of it. Finally, you know what I mean, the hang of it now.
That's awesome.
Really, yeah, amazing.
Like when you look at paint jobs, like especially like ones like that look complicated, often the process to paint them is really simple. It doesn't take that long, right? Like you got like dry brushing techniques and rub outs and all this stuff. And I actually take into account how I'm going to be painting a piece as I'm sculpting it. So I'm like, if I can really hammer detail into this, then I can do a rub out, and then it'll pick up all this detail. So that the painting process for me in my head starts at this stage almost, right? So there's a bone chewer. That's the bone chewer clown. Yeah, that was
so good.
That scared the shit out of somebody that came over one day. I had a bedside table for a while there. Not a fan.
So good.
Who knew something?
You know it's good.
Yeah,
if that's not silicone, I don't know what it is, because that looks.
No, that's translucent resin.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
you just when you're the biggest thing I see with people using translucent resin is they add too much pigment to it. Because if you add too much pigment to it, there's no translucency. You're killing it, right? So it's the proper amount to get that translucency. So when you add paint to it, you're not making it flat, where you should have just casted it on latex or like a solid colored normal resin that isn't translucent, right? So yeah. That's a different variant of him, of the bone chewer.
I love that guy.
Those are just fun to make, you know. I'm making one for myself right now that has a base on it, like an ornate kind of base, and then it has a zombie head to put my gaming headphones on, my music headphones.
Oh, nice.
That's a sport.
Isn't that the beauty of making stuff like this? You can make your own for whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
We have the coolest decorations in the world.
Yeah. But
speaking of moms, here, this is your mom.
Yeah.
No way! How cool is that?
She has seen more horror like raising me than any horror character on the planet. So yeah, it's like I was like, "Can you throw this on?" She's like, "No, I don't want to take a picture. I'm just wearing a Myers mask. No one can see you." So she like whipped it on, and I finally convinced her to do it.
It's so good. So if you want to check out more of Jay's work, go to his Instagram. Is there anywhere else that we can find your work? Or is this
I'm on Instagram at Fear of the Dark Studios. I'm on Facebook at Fear of the Dark Studios as well. And I'm going to have an Etsy page coming up very shortly as well. Yeah.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Check that out.
Throw my hat in the Etsy game.
There you go. All right, so I saw that you were doing a website. So are you going to do an Etsy site or a website and an Etsy site?
Both. I'm going to just do both. So I have multiple places. I'm gonna hammer people. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's it. Just go for it. Listen, God hates cowards. All right, just go for it all. Take it all.
Wow.
You can do it all. You clearly can do it all anyway. So just keep.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely going to be website design isn't my favorite thing on the planet. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah, go to Wix.com. They'll set it up for you.
It's funny. I just did that the other day. I went to Wix, and now I'm starting a new one, and it's way easier.
Yeah, Wix is good.
Yeah.
Easier, man.
So this is where you can find us. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Definitely tell a friend, subscribe, all that jazz. But we will be back next Thursday for another Carvers and Creators. Jay, you're a fast friend of the show. We'd love to have you back again.
Yeah.
Anytime, man.
Dude,
COVID. I'm just sitting here anyway, so just invite me on. I'll be
exactly. So that's the hallmark of the show. If you can hang with us and do what you just did, and oh, by the way, be sculpting and equally as interested in completely inane crap that we are.
You love the same.
Then you're one of us. So it's yeah, we'd love to have you back.
One of us.
One of us. Just shoot me a message. I need about a half an hour lead up time, guys. So
Good to know.
Get the studio cleaned up. Got it. Yeah.
Low maintenance.
Right on. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We'll see you next Thursday for another Carvers and Creators. Good night, everyone. Take care.
See ya.
Not everybody.
Thanks.